Okay, so today's video is about how attractive a man is in a woman's eyes based on his fitness level, or really posing the question of how important is it actually. So I came to an interesting realization that's probably going to ruffle some feathers and might go exactly against what you currently believe. And that belief, which is what I think I'm gonna speak against today, I held on to for a long time, especially someone who was a fitness coach for a little bit, and who's always been into fitness and has always placed a lot of value in being in tip-top shape. Now we can talk about all the health benefits and all the whatever, mental discipline, whatever, but really in this video, I'm just gonna be focusing on the attraction benefits as it relates to a man's fitness level in a woman's eyes, okay? So I think for a long time, I felt this way, and many of you sitting at home probably feel the same way, which is that the fitter you are, the more attractive you will be to women, right? If you have the perfect, chiseled, Giga Chad physique, you will get more girls, or you'll be able to get more girls, right? But you actually see this argument fall apart a lot when you see guys who are incredibly fit, like some of the most jacked, absolutely shredded, 8% body fat guys who don't really get that much ass. And you're like, okay, well, so clearly that's not the full picture, right? We all know that. It doesn't take a genius to know that that's not the full picture. But I thought for a long time, it mattered more than it does. And I'm here to tell you from what I've gathered from my own experience and from just overall learning, it doesn't matter nearly as much as I thought or as much as you probably think, right? What I think it is, and please drop in the comments how you feel about this opinion. If you're a guy, if you're a girl, if this rings true, if it doesn't, if you totally disagree. What I think it is, dude, if you're under 20% body fat, you're good. You basically tick the box. If you're okay, here's the thing. You're under 20% body fat as a guy, and you're also not like a complete twig. Like obviously if you're like rail thin, just skin and bones, like that's not attractive. Like I think we can all agree here. So it's like you have a decent amount of muscle, just like a solid base, like regular, right? No bodybuilder level, not even near that. And you're under 20% body fat. Dude, like you tick the box, bro. Like you tick the box in the girl's head of just like, okay, cool. He's not fat. He's not a fat piece of shit. He's not a lazy whatever. Like he actually somewhat takes care of himself, and I don't have to be worried about his health or the fact that he's a total slob. And I think that's really like all girls, most girls, right? There's obviously exceptions. But like most women, I think that's really all they're looking for. And then all of the other characteristics or traits that makes her attracted to you are way more important, right? Like status, money, personality, charisma, confidence, humor, all that shit matters way more. And like once you've ticked that box, as I said, like maybe some muscle under 20% body fat, it's like all the other things are what actually matter. And the difference between you being like a bodybuilder type, like you could be a male model, great muscle, good genetics, 8% body fat, and you being like right on the cusp of ticking that box, like not that much muscle, but you're also like just under 20%, or you're exactly like 20% body fat, which for those of you asking, 20% body fat is like, you don't have like a gut, but there's like a good amount of visible fat over your stomach. Like you can't see your abs, and like you're just not defined like at all, but you haven't crossed into the zone of like being fat or like, it's kind of like dad bod. It's on the verge of dad bod, but like a little bit more fit than dad bod. But all those other things are just gonna matter more. Whether you're right on the cusp or you're super fucking fit, it's like, I feel like in that zone, it doesn't really matter compared to all the other things: personality, charisma, confidence, status, fame, money. Like all those other factors are going to be super, super important. And so I feel like one takeaway, at least for me, as someone who I think has wrongly placed a lot of importance there, it almost gives me like a little bit of like a sigh of relief where I'm just like, okay, like it's cool, bro. Like, you don't have to be 10% body fat year round, like killing yourself dieting or constantly going to the gym. Because like for me, like I already look fucking great. I tick that box and then some, like very much so. Even if I completely slack off, like I'll still be within there. And then it just allows me to be like, okay, cool. Like, don't worry so much about that. Focus on leveling up in all these other areas, which pull way fucking harder, right? And then obviously, like, if we're talking apples to apples comparison, like you got two guys and literally everything is the exact same, except one guy is fitter than the other one, then like, yeah, obviously, like she's gonna choose the fitter one, but that doesn't even exist. Like that reality is like completely impossible to see in the real world. Like true exact opposite, except for exact same, one's fitter. And then obviously I said that there are exceptions to this like general opinion and stance on this, which is that if you're like a super fucking fit girl or like it's a gym rat girl, like where that like just fitness, your physique, all of that is like super important, then yeah, obviously maybe she's gonna be like hyper attracted to the like perfect bodybuilder, like chiseled look, or like maybe she wants a guy that's like as fit or more fit than her and she's like crazy fit. I definitely think that's like the exception, but like 99% of girls don't fall into that category, right? Like I have a story really quick that I want to share with you, which is that so over the last like 3-4 years, I've always been super fit. I've always had a great physique. I mean, not crazy, I don't fucking compete, but like I look better than, you know, most guys, right? And at the time that I thought in the last like 4 years that my physique was like one of the worst that it had been. Like I'd really let myself go on vacation. I was just like enjoying, eating tons of calories. I felt like I barely even had abs showing. I felt like I was flat. I felt like my face was super puffy, like not good. I went on this date with a girl and had like an amazing night, and like things escalated. Like she sees me with my shirt off basically, and she made a comment where she was like, oh, like you're like, of course, like you look like that with your shirt off, or like I like your abs, like I could feel them and whatever. And I was just like, I was taken aback because in my mind, I was like, fuck, I look like shit right now. Like I don't even look good. I'm not confident with my physique. This is the worst my physique's been in a long time. And in her mind, she was like, you're hella fit. So it like kind of broke my brain a little bit. And I was just like, oh yeah, like maybe it's body dysmorphia, but also it's like, dude, she's not placing that much fucking important on how dialed in you are. Like at a certain point, you are only going farther in the physique, like fitness journey to impress and get respect from other dudes at the gym. Because they're the only guys that actually give a fuck, like if you're that fucking fit, right? And then obviously like the one, I would say like counter argument to my point, which hopefully if you watch into my videos and my channel at all, you see that I'm trying to be like, play both sides, and I'm very open-minded, and I'm happy for you to comment and shit on me in the result, or in the comment and shit all over me and like tear apart my opinion. But like the counter argument is that your fitness level can heavily affect your confidence as a man. So if I say, oh, it's not that important to be fit, and a guy's like, well, being confident is super important when it comes to talking to girls, and I derive a lot of my confidence from how fit I am, then yes, I can see where that argument makes sense. But I would also say that's a faulty line of thinking, because I used to be the same way until recently. I think once you can adopt the mindset and the belief that women actually don't care nearly as much as you think that they do, it can allow you to then be more confident, or the same confidence level, even when your physique like kind of takes a little bit of a hit, you know? Because ultimately that whole like, I'm more confident when I'm at a better fitness level, that belief is tied to the assumption that if I am more fit, I will get more girls, or I'll get more attention from girls or whatever, right? So that's how that works. But anyways, let me know your thoughts below. Do you radically disagree with me? Do you see where I'm coming from? Have you experienced anything similar in your life? Join the frickin' conversation down below. This was a fun one to make. I could go on and on about this topic and similar topics. Let me know if you like it. Cheers. Thanks for watching.